Bad bitch Brock, that's why they always on my job, always on my cock, cause I'm bad bitch Brock. They wanna give me stacks and they wanna give me
big man, big pen, big pimpin', no pickin', top dog, sippin' on juice and gin, haters gon' jig, and they peeing cause my name and they mouth, just like a Disney.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Trumix Music here with the Homos team, and we need you to do 3 important things. We need you to like, comment, and subscribe.
What's up, PBHTs and Papianas and Mamianas, dudes and dudettes?
And everyone, thank you for joining us here at the Downhouse Tea, and it's here with DDomino Geronimo, and I'm Yuri V.
The fact that this is my 3rd album, so with this being my 3rd album, it was my growth. So I started off, getting to the gritty of hip-hop, learning through other people, and, stuff like that. So basically, what inspired me also was a book that I was reading by Sharon called Darkness of the Dawn. So that kind of inspired my album with, all the advice that I was giving people, the inspirations that inspired me, medieval times, the Moor era, like the kingdoms and everything. So also what inspired my song titles was basically the experiences I was going through in my life. So Ageness, that is my opening track that was based off, my coming of age, and then Phantom Gang was another coming of age, doing a freestyle with a beat producer I worked with called Dead Joint from out in Europe, out in Russia to be specific. He inspired that song too because, I was going through a time where I was in a relationship, happened to be interracial, and I was overcoming that. And then Bad Bitch Brock was basically my way of saying, like, forget all of that. Let me focus back on me, be the PBHT that I am and that I've been inspiring people to be. And then Dunce No Cap is the next track, which is basically like taking, my own advice on, things I was going through and being protective of everybody. So I basically wanted to say, forget all the homophobia. Let me go back to doing me, be the PBHT, which is Pretty Boy Homo Thug, so focusing on, just being the bad bitch Brock. And then the next song, Demon Dig, is basically just like, something playful, a twerk song, a sexual song, like taking kind of like a trade aspect and saying, like, I'm that nigga, like, this is what it is, like, I'm gonna be dominant. And then Manny Nanny was kind of like different people that were interested in me, but the whole like the whole Dio thing, just like not really for me. But they've been trying to talk to me and what it would be like if I was to, mess with them, but that wasn't the case. And then Do You Remember is the next song, and that song is basically like, do you remember? You don't need to have the DO, guys. You don't need to be on the DL. You don't need to hide behind who you are and have a low vibration on life. You don't need to drink and smoke to enjoy yourself. You don't need to have like a Fortune 500 company. You just need to remember who you are and the base of who you are, your morals and values. And then Selfish was a continuation of that. Like, no matter if you're in a relationship, you're working 10 different jobs, or you wear 10 different hats, you just basically focus on yourself. That's what I was trying to tell myself, And then Highness was like more of like how I could relate to people. If I was to do all those things and I was to have all the, glitz and glamour without actually, having to work extra hard for it. But that was just more of an interlude. And then Snake Charming is basically like, having my own goals and values in life and, using them to my advantage, of course. And then Magazine Dreams is like, doing stuff like this, having my interviews. So, being in a magazine, actually with Downhouse Town, my first magazine, the holiday edition. So that was actually with a feature with a singer named Humble Ricky that I love working with. Like, he can blow, he can sing, no pun intended, pause. But I love working with him. And then CC is like, first of all, there's mini songs called like Cloud or CC, you know, like Cloud Chase or whatever, but CC is actually a play on that because, you know CC the designer, and then also is a good ending to my album by saying, you know, while you focus on all these things, you don't need to worry about any pressures, whether that be drugs or, you know, people trying to persuade you to do things that you don't want to do. So, and that was with a producer that's out in the UK. I mean, that's out in Europe too. He said that he wanted to work with me. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I'm about to drop my 3rd album. I have yet to work with him. So let me get on with drum music, actually work with him. So, and in the order of my playlist, like I said, that was just basically like, you know, the phases that I was going through in life and at what time.
Bad bitch Brock, that's why they always on my job, always on my cock, cause I'm bad bitch Brock. They wanna give me stacks and they wanna give me
big man, big pen, big pippin', no pickin', top dog, sippin' on juice and gin, haters going jig, and they peeing cause my name and they mouth, just like a Disney.